it's good to see you. Depending on when you're watching this, I hope you will have a good day. I hope you're having a good day. And I hope you had a good day. Because you could be watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or at night, or all three. So you could watch me read these books over and over and over again. What are we reading? 3 books. We have The Catman of Aleppo. We have Not Norman, a Goldfish Story. And we have Bedtime Bonnet. So let's read. The Catman of Aleppo. Do you know where Aleppo is? It's a city in the country of Syria. And Syria is a country way across the Atlantic Ocean next to the Mediterranean Sea. And it's near Turkey. And maybe if I get fancy, I can show you a map over here or over here or over there. But we'll figure out how to do that. But this is a true story about the Catman of Aleppo. What do you think this story's about? I see a lot of cats. The Catman of Aleppo. Words by Irene Latham and Karim Shamsi-Basha. And pictures by Yuko Shimizu. The Catman of Aleppo. Oh, look, doves. That's the Catman of Aleppo. And his name is Muhammad Allah Al-Jalil. And he has a little note at the beginning of the book. And it says, "Dear reader, this is a story about cats and war and people. But most of all, it is a story about love. Because of my love for cats, I'm now helping all kinds of animals, as well as people and children, orphaned from the war that gripped my country of Syria for 7 long years. Generous people from everywhere are helping me support and improve my community. We now have an orphanage caring for many children, and clinics and shelters helping many animals. You can help too. Remember, both people and animals suffer pain, and all of them deserve compassion. Together, we can make the world a better place." So let's learn about his story. Allah loves his city of Aleppo. He loves its narrow alleys and covered bazaars selling pistachios, jasmine soap, and green za'atar. He loves the boiled corn and dried figs offered on the street. Most of all, he loves the people of Aleppo. They are gentle, polite, and loving, like him. Even when war comes to Aleppo, Allah doesn't flee like so many others. He continues his work as an ambulance driver. He swerves through rubbled streets and carries the wounded to safety. He comforts and holds them. Allah has a big heart. Allah's work is important, but he misses his loved ones. Where are they now? Are they safe? He misses the way things used to be before this war. Aleppo's city center no longer echoes with the rich, exciting sounds of copper pot pounding and traditional sword sharpening. His neighborhood is empty. Except for the many cats left behind. The abandoned cats roam crumpled buildings and prowl filthy alleyways for food. Their homes have been destroyed, and now no one is left to love them and shelter and stroke their backs. No one is there to give them food and water. The cat's lonely, confused faces remind Allah of the loved ones he has lost. So many goodbyes. So many people he hasn't been able to help. So many days he feels lonely and confused, too. On his way home from work, Allah stops the ambulance. 2 cats talk to him from the branches of an ancient olive tree. 3 more peek from a Syrian juniper tree. Allah's big heart swells with love for them. Bombs may still fall and his loved ones may never come back to Aleppo. But there is something he can do. He can look after the cats. Do you find the cats in the tree? Look. There's one there. Meow. And there's one there. Meow. After his shift the next day, Allah uses the little money he has to buy fresh meat. When he unwraps the meat, the cats raise their heads and sniff the air. They are extra hungry. Ti ata ata, Allah calls. Here, kitty kitty. A dozen cats rush toward him, their tails high. He gives them bits of meat and talks softly to them. The cats chew and purr and chew. Soon their bellies are full, and so is Allah's heart. He smiles and pets the cats, and they love him back. Oh my goodness! Look at all those cats! Allah brings meat and water for the cats every day. A dozen turns into 20, and 20 turns into 50. He can no longer care for the cats alone. I need a place to keep them safe, Allah tells his remaining neighbors. Together, we can save them all. Word spreads and volunteers arrive. Donations pour in from many different countries. Everyone wants to help the cats of Aleppo. Allah collects enough money to buy a building with a shaded courtyard. He names the sanctuary the House of Cats Ernesto, in memory of a friend's beloved cat. Soon cats are everywhere. Orange cats, striped cats, white cats, gray cats, and black cats. For every cat, there's a dish of food and a bowl of water. Now when people must leave Aleppo, they bring their cats to Allah before they go. Hope and love fill people's hearts when they learn about the sanctuary's success. And they send more money. With so much support, Allah is able to rescue other animals too. I see a hawk, and a fox, and a chicken, and a monkey, and a doggy, and a sheepy. Allah builds a playground for the children still living in Aleppo. He helps dig a well so everyone can have fresh water. He distributes fruit, ma'amul, and barzet cookies to the people he meets. Allah's big heart is happy. All he did was love the cats, and that love multiplied and multiplied again. He still misses his beloved ones in the way Aleppo used to be before the war. But now Allah is known around the world as the Cat Man of Aleppo. Allah loves his city of Aleppo. He hopes one day soon its bazaars selling pistachios and jasmine soap will return, and he can enjoy eating boiled corn and dried figs. Meanwhile, he loves the sanctuary's courtyard filled with fat, sleepy-eyed cats. There's no place he'd rather be. Duh. And meow. Such a good story, isn't it? And I love cats. Our next book is not about a cat. It's about a fish. Not Norman. A goldfish story. Blub, 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 blub. Words by Kelly Bennett. Pictures by Nora Z. Jones. Blub, 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 blub. Not Norman. A goldfish story. When I got Norman, I didn't want to keep him. I wanted a different kind of pet. Not Norman. I wanted a pet who could run and catch, or one who could climb trees and chase strings. A soft, furry pet to sleep on my bed at night. Not Norman. All Norman does is swim around and 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 around. This is it, Norman, I decide. I'm trading you for a good pet. Norman doesn't move. Not even a fin twitches. How can I trade him like this? No one will want a sorry-looking fish in a gunky bowl. When I drop Norman into his nice, clean bowl, he starts dipping and flipping, flapping his fins around. He looks so goofy I have to laugh. Don't think that just because you made me laugh I'm going to keep you, I tell him. Tomorrow, you're out of here. Norman blows a stream of bubbles. The next day I take Norman to school with me. If I talk him up real good during show and tell, maybe someone will want him. On the way there, we see my friend Austin. Austin has a real cool dog. 7 puppies! Want to swap one of your pups for Norman, I ask? Who's Norman? Asks Austin. My goldfish, I say. Uh-oh, do you see the dogs licking Norman's fishbowl? By the time I rescue Norman, half his water is gone. I'm sorry, I tell Norman when we get to school. I'm really sorry. He just stares at me all googly-eyed. Finally, it's my turn to show and tell. Just as I start to talk about goldfish, Emily shouts, "Jenny's gone! Who let my snake loose?" There's Jenny and her empty snake tank. Does anyone hear the story of how I got Norman? Does anyone even ask to hold his bowl? No. They're all jumping and screaming and chasing the snake. Not Norman. He's looking right at me. Thanks for listening, I tell him. That afternoon, we go to my music lesson. As soon as it's over, I'm taking Norman back to the pet store. I take out my tuba and begin to play. Boom, 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 boom. I glance over at Norman. He's swaying back and forth. Glug, 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 he mouths. Look, Norman's singing, I say. Pay attention, snaps the maestro, and try to play the proper notes. Maestro makes me stay for extra practice. By the time my lesson is over, it's too late to go to the pet store. Don't think that just because you like my music, I'm going to keep you, I tell Norman. He glugs. That night, I'm sound asleep when screech, 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 screech. What's that noise? Scratch, screech, screech. Yikes, there's something at the window. Then out of the corner of my eye, I spot Norman. He isn't scared. He isn't swimming around in circles either. He glugs and gives me a little wave. I'm not alone. Together, Norman and I slide open the curtains. It was just a broken tree branch. Thanks for watching out for me, Norman. On Saturday, I take Norman to the pet store, just like I said I would. I look at the cats and dogs and snakes and birds. I look at the hamsters and mice, lizards too. They all look like good pets, but they are not Norman. When I got Norman, I wasn't sure I wanted to keep him. But now, even if I could pick any pet in the whole world, I wouldn't trade him. Not Norman. The end. Glug, 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 glug. Our last book before bedtime, if you're going to bed, is Bedtime Bonnet. Words by Nancy Red and pictures by Nneka Myers. Look at all the combs and picks and curlers and oil and barrettes and bands. Bedtime Bonnet. In my family, when the sun goes down, our hair goes up. My brother twists and tightens each of his locks. Sis combs her hair in a swirl around her head. Daddy's hairbrush makes rows of black waves appear. Grandma rolls up her silver mane. Grandpa doesn't do anything to his hair because he doesn't have any. After Mommy gathers her corkscrew curls in a scarf, she calls for me. I scoot between her legs and she gets to work on my hair. I'm tender-headed, so she's extra gentle. Grandpa tells jokes as Mommy works her magic. He asks me, "Why does the bee have sticky hair?" I don't know, so he says, "Because it uses a honeycomb." Silly Grandpa. Finally, a braided crown is on top of my head, and it's time for bed. Except I can't find my bedtime bonnet! I need to protect my hair from tangles and lint while I sleep. Wearing my bonnet at night is as important as brushing my teeth. Maybe Grandma knows where it is. She's covering her rollers with a handkerchief. "Grandma, have you seen my bonnet?" She gets up and looks around. "No, dear, I haven't. Maybe your sister knows." My sister is still in the bathroom, her hair spun in a wrap. "Sis, have you seen my bonnet?" She looks in all the bathroom drawers. "No, but here's Daddy's wave cap." I take the cap to Daddy, and he pops it onto his waves. "Daddy, have you seen my bonnet?" He looks around the sofa, but it's not there either. Where in the world could my bonnet be? I can't go to bed without it. Just then my big brother walks in, a do-rag slipped over his locks. Does he know where it is? "Big bro, have you seen my bonnet?" He doesn't even pretend to look. He just says, "Ask Grandpa." "Oh, Grandpa!" There it is. Grandpa had it the whole time. My bonnet is now in its proper place, and I'm really sleepy. Everyone gives me kisses and hugs, and Mommy and Daddy read me a story. Good night, family. In the morning, when the sun comes up, our hair comes down. Daddy smooths his ocean-like waves. Mommy scrunches her ribbony curls. Sis unwinds her foot-long wrap. My brother shakes out his lovely locks. While Grandma unsnaps her rollers, Grandpa shaves his head. And as for me, my bonnet comes off and my braids come out. Now we're all ready for a brand new day. End. Speaking of hair, I should go do something with mine, huh? Thank you for reading with me. I love our time together. And I'll see you next time. I love you. Bye.